Ladies, thank you so much for taking this time. I'm going to start this off by saying you saved me with Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. It changed the course of my life. I still say thank you for your years of dedication. Now please leave. Burned in my head. But no, I want to it's just you guys were such inspirations for me and just such great work. Sally, I want to talk to you about comedy a little bit, especially challenging comedies. Laid is not your typical funny type of show. Can you tell me some of your early comedic inspirations that challenged you, maybe outside of the normal I Love Lucy? Oh, that's funny. Can you tell me a comedy that really got your mind working?
Yeah, I mean, this happened late for me. I feel like the show I keep coming back to in terms of this show, in terms of tone and in terms of making it similar, is Search Party was a show for me that I loved. And I feel like they were doing a lot of different things and weaving different tones in a very tricky, kind of delicate way. That's what we tried to do here. Um, hmm, no, I can't think of more. No, I can't. I'll keep thinking.
No, no, that's a perfect one. I mean, I
Yeah, I
think, I
love
mean,
that.
for me, it was something like with Natch and her work on American Dad. I remember it just being like, what is this? This is different, and I love it. So, Natch, I want to turn to you first, calling you Natch. I feel like we're best friends. That's all I've
Yes.
wanted for my life. No, um, no, I want to say your choices. You have great eye for talent and story. Can you tell me what drew you to Laid? What was it about this that made you say, I need to bring this over and give it this platform?
Well, thank you for the compliments. I think for me, I'm always looking for things that I haven't done before or that feel fresh and different. That gets me excited. And so, like with Apartment 23, it's like you've seen two girls living in the city before, but you haven't seen it done in this way. And so with Laid, it's like the high concept, the idea that, every person this woman has slept with starts dying in the order that she slept with them was so exciting to me because it was just like, love the premise, love the way it starts, and then have been trying to work with Sally ever since Apartment 23, and then the idea of like what would we do with this and the places that we could take it, like that stuff gets me so excited. So I think everything I do has to have that element of, oh, this is really cool. This is something I would want to see.
Yeah, no pun intended, but you two are a killer combo. I just love seeing your energy. Sally, talk to me a little bit about Natch. That you led me into my next question perfectly about
Yeah.
what it is about her maybe speaking your same language. What was those moments you guys had developing a series that you're like, oh, we're good. Well, what is going on here?
Well, I think we do speak the same language. I feel like I can speak a language that she speaks all languages. So I think, and I speak this one very specific one. Um, I don't know. We work really well together. I feel like it's very ego free. It's very about like just what makes the show better. It doesn't matter where ideas come from. And I think this show is so my sensibility. I mean, just hearing the log line of it, I was
Yeah.
like rom-com with people dying. I can't imagine a show that's more like even when I first told people, but they're like, "That's perfect for you."
Perfect.
Um, so yeah, but she leads from everything is from from the top is just she leads everything, the set, the writers' room, everything with such grace and ease, and everyone loves working for her.
She's being quite kind, but
Yeah.
also I think, I mean, this is made for Sally. Like, it's so exciting to work with her on this because, like, she gets it immediately. And it's like, I have to
Mhm.
sort of shift my brain into this mode, but her brain lives in this mode. And
Can't get
so
out.
she's stuck in this mode. So it was really, really fun. And we're really excited for people to see it.
Oh, I think this is gonna be one of those ones people see and they're like, it just sticks with you. And Natch, I have to ask you about finding these babies that you have in the show. And I never want to make a creative pick one of their favorites, but is there a character you just genuinely like watching unfold and their madness in the show? Because for me, it was Andre. Everything he did, I called him a scene steal earlier. Everything Andre did, I was like, what are you doing?
Andre is a great one. I mean, from the get-go, even, in episode one, he doesn't have a ton of screen time, but he's so memorable. Like when you do see him and the way he delivers it, the just his like the freedom he has. He always keeps you on your toes. He was great. I think Tommy was really exciting to see his evolution, going from he's so handsome and he's so, like typical, and then really pushing him into the comedy world and just having him embrace it and just making me laugh out. Like when we get to like towards the end of the season, like he's just really he's trying to come to terms with what's happening in a way that I just found surprising. And so I think, and you mean you just can't like Stephanie, there's no show without Stephanie, there's no show without Zasha. Like they're just, they're a dream. So yeah, it's really lucky.
I mean, the dream team on set and the dream team behind there. Thank you guys so much for speaking with me today. It was a blast. Like I said, this was like, oh, when I saw this press, I was like, yes, thank you guys. So thank you guys for speaking with me today.
Oh,
Thank you
thank you
so
so much. It was
much.
such a
No
pleasure to
problem.
meet you.
Michael, I don't want to fanboy a little bit, but I may have been a sky high person. I know I'm one of those, yes.
Love
But
that.
I'd love to see where your career is going. And I think Laid is some of the best material for your acting ability. What drew you to this? And I think you're such a great fit.
Thanks, man. I was just very happy to be a part of it. I it was really outside of, the idea that the show itself had such a great hook, and it was so well written, and the characters were so well drawn out, and it felt, so specific, and Nahnatchka and Sally are really, really great writers, and it was genuinely funny. I just love the idea of playing a character who had nothing to lose, and how liberating and freeing that could be. And so yeah, something just clicked in me immediately. That was one of the first things I spoke about with Notch, was that I love the idea of this guy just floating on through life at this point, having kind of, facing this beast of death. And I just thought that informed so much of his relationship with Ruby, in that, he's not afraid to say what he thinks. He's not a people pleasing. He's not afraid to be the bad guy, or, he doesn't care about being the good guy. I think that for me was really fun.
No, I love that. I think that is exactly what I think draws me to the show as well. Also, I love figuring out a mystery. I'm a mystery kind of person, so I love
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
figure out what's going on. Andre, I have to say, you are easily for me a scene stealer. Everything I've seen you in, you can steal a scene. What does that like title mean to you? I know you've probably been called that before. What does that mean to you? And in a positive way. I don't mean that shadily.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you?
It's nice. It's nice to feel like you've made a little impact in the real estate that you have in any project, but not like overstepping and being like, oh, that's the loud jerk in the room. So thank you. That's nice. And yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that, I owe it to them, writing a structure and a context for me to get to do that in. So it's like someone does all the hard work of building the house, and I get to come in and like decorate a room. So I'm glad you enjoyed my decorating.
That's good.
That is the best acting analogy I think I've ever heard.
I know, that's really good.
No, I love that. And again, I love that you said that you have to not steal from everyone, but make that splash. And that's what you guys do, especially on this very female-led show, this very female creative show. Michael, can you talk to me a little bit about that, of walking onto the set with strong women in front of and behind the camera and just feeling so at home with it? Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've said it so much today already, but it was such a, you felt very taken care of on this set. And, obviously, one of the other big draws for me is doing the show is having somebody like Notch at the helm, and having her experience, and like her success rate is just insane. Like she's such a genius. And I've worked with Sally before, and so the writing was so good, but just from a pure production standpoint, nothing is ever easy. And, you just want to work with good people. And Stephanie, apart from being so, spot on and perfect and in the pocket with this part, she was also taking on the responsibility of being a producer. And you could tell like she really appreciated that role. And, yeah, like she was so generous and thoughtful, and it was just, really nice to be around.
Yeah, and like Notch would like sit down with each of us before we started shooting to kind of be like, how do you like to work? What's your rhythm? So we wouldn't just be coming in with like a blank slate on the day we shoot.
Yeah.
So it's nice, like, oh, like let's get tea and like talk, and then we did.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a real simple thing, but I think it helps a ton, because you're not sort of guessing each other on set all of a sudden. It's like, oh, I have an idea of how this person likes to work, and they know how I like to work a little bit, so you can find that bridge.
Yeah, you speak their same language. And Andre, I want to ask you about that is speaking that comedic language. You kind of jumped around from a lot of funny projects. How do you find that groove? What is like a tip that you usually find for yourself or someone has given you to kind of get in that pocket, find that right kind of comedy? Because I've seen so many different types of funny that you've done. And, I love that.
I try to find, I mean, this will sound like the corny thing, like you try to find the truth of it, but like wherever the reality is, like the North Star is of the tone or the world, and then you try to think of your character's perspective, and then you can always go to that by default. And then I feel like those two things kind of gives you the what's it called? Like the geographical coordinates for where you need to go comedically.
No, that's awesome. That seems you spoke a little too much math there for me. I was trying to like figure out the
It's
board
the only
behind
math
you
I know.
guys.
Yeah.
Acting math is probably the best kind of math, so I will take that. No, thank you guys so much for speaking with me today. It's been great. I am so happy for people to see this wild, wild show.